Hello YouTube, this is Axis 0096, wishing everyone a happy Halloween. And as you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. I would be wearing my Gundam related attire, but unfortunately my normal suit didn't make it through the cleaners. So you'll have to be entertained with my Super Metroid shirt instead. Sorry. Anyways, today we continue my Mobile Suit Gundam Mythos series. This is part 3. I don't know how long this is gonna go. Probably for some time at least. Foreseeable future, definitely. But I'm hopeful that we will be able to put a good bit on this pretty soon. Hold on just a second. Anyways, let's see. Last time I discussed certain things that were going on. In this video, I wanted to discuss a bit about some of the world of the Universal Century. Some of the things you guys may not have considered, like how big colonies are, how big, say, for instance, Luna 2 is relative to our moon and the Earth. Because some of these resource satellites are quite large. We're talking about asteroids taken from our asteroid belt, brought into Earth orbit to be mined, to be made into the materials, or literally into the basis for space colonies. But I digress. Due to the I'm going to start back at the beginning. Due to the colonial implementation project by the Colonial Public Corporation early in the Universal Century, the Federation government quickly realized they needed resources to produce enough housing colonies, to house the populace. So they quickly realized that mineral mines on the Earth and probably Luna, the moon, wouldn't be feasibly enough to construct enough habitats in space for the increasing population of humanity's population, which prior to the outset of the 1-year war, I think some estimates were near 20 to 30 billion human lives, which is quite a large number. As most people know today on our Earth, there are about 7 to 8 billion people. 30 billion people is quite a few more, at least 3 times or so more than today's current population. And to cope with that, they decided to bring in, some expertise into bringing in asteroids from probably the asteroid belt or near-Earth objects to be mined and be made into various materials, or probably even the hollowed-out shells into space colonies. Palau, as many of you all know from Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, is an older colony. It's actually several mining colony asteroids linked together, and it's quite large. As you notice, the Nail Argama is quite tiny compared to Palau. It's several miles or kilometers across. Very, very large. It would be the equivalent of one of Jupiter or Saturn's smaller moons pieced together. Obviously, it was once a main belt asteroid, as stated by Marita Cruz's dialogue in Gundam Unicorn. There are other larger asteroids. Fifth Luna, which fell to Earth in Char's counterattack, indicates that there was at least 5 primary resource satellites. Luna 2 being the largest of them, which was later turned into a Federation base. A lot of people who know the deep mythos of the Federation know that Luna 2 was originally named asteroid Juno. It's one of the largest asteroids in our current solar system, and it's between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. A lot of you may not realize asteroid Juno is quite large. We're talking, it probably contains roughly 3 to 5% of the asteroid belt's mass. It's not as massive as the dwarf planet Ceres in the asteroid belt. It's not gravitationally rounded enough to be a ball, so it does not meet the IAU classification of 2006 for a dwarf planet, which, number one, it has to be round. Number two, okay. Number one, it is to have sufficient gravity to be self-rounded. Number two, it has to orbit the sun independently of any other body. But three, it is not cleared its local environment, which is littered with other smaller objects and some larger ones. Pluto, I'm sorry to bring this up, unfortunately also falls into this category. You guys can hate me all you want. I'm an amateur astronomer in addition to being a Gundam fan. Sorry. Anyways, back on topic. Juno is large enough to actually have surface gravity, which would explain why the Gundam in the original series had to use its thrusters. Say this is Juno's surface, here's the Gundam. It had to slowly come into landing because it's like landing on a small moon. That's kind of why, when they built the Federation base there, it's actually a very good place. It doesn't have a lot of gravity, but it has enough to where, docking and mooring's pretty efficient. It's also an excellent frontline base. A lot of you may not know this, but I think that Luna 2's opposite to the moon. It's either at, L3. Moonzo's at L3, so Luna 2 would probably be at L1. Here's Earth. Here's my head. This is the Earth. L3 is right here. L1 is here. The moon is in between this finger and my head. So, by that recollection, Luna 2 orbits the Earth with a period of roughly 14 days instead of the moon's 28 days. It's a it would if it wasn't in a synchronous orbit with the moon. Being that it is in a synchronous orbit with our moon, it always is on the opposite side of the Earth from our natural satellite at all times. Just imagine being on the Earth at that time, looking up into the sky. Luna 2, even, if the base was on the opposite side, would be truly an impressive sight. It would be a large, probably oblate, semi-rounded object, probably grayish, maybe tannish in color, depending on space weathering. Kind of unusual. You wouldn't think Earth would have two natural satellites. Now, naturally, of course, Luna 2's been artificially brought to the Earth's orbit, but it is part of our solar system. Makes me wonder if there'd be solar eclipses and other things to consider. But I digress. There are probably more than at least, enough about Luna 2, there's probably more than 5 natural resource satellites of the Earth. Luna 2, Palau, and Luna, fifth Luna, are probably just 3 out of more than just 5. I would say there are at least 10. There are other colonies orbiting the Earth. We have 5 sides worth of them. Side 1, a lot of people know from, I'm going to have to get out my handy-dandy phone to look up names. That way, you guys can forgive me or crucify me. Hold on just a second. Sorry to stop the video briefly. Side 1 is called Zhan. It is located at L5. This side serves as the Earth Federation's space capital. It was one of the first Federation sides that was attacked by the Principality of Zhan during the first one-year war. Known colonies at Side 1 include Colony 1, Shangri-La, which is Side 1's first space colony and the home of Juno Ashta and his friends and comrades. Colony 3, Eden, is the birthplace of Benager Lynx, hero of Gundam Unicorn. Well, one of them. Colony 7, Colon. A battle between Earth Federation forces and Zhan remnants took place here in UC 0122. Londinium is the headquarters of the Federation's Londobel Task Force. Colony 30, scene of the infamous Colony 30 incident. Island Blade, one of two colonies hijacked in the mid-transfer by the Shima fleet in UC 0083. Island East, one of two colonies hijacked by the Shima fleet in 0083. It was secured by the Delaz fleet for Phase 2 of Operation Stardust, and it was dropped on North America, in the middle of it near Oakley, Kansas, I believe. Round Island, an Island 1 colony used for construction purposes, built inside 1. And 0084 was bought from the Colony Management Corporation and starting in UC 106 used as the headquarters of the Crossbone Vanguard prior to their invasion of the frontier side. Pi Albanian colony, Queen Maria Pi Armonia of the Zanskar Empire opened a consulate bureau here before the events of Mobile Suit Victory Gundam. Sweetwater is another large colony inside 1. It was created through the combination of an Island 3 open-type colony with a closed-type colony is a place for refugees of the one-year war, Grips conflict, and First Neo-Zeon War. In the UC-90s, Shar built the colony as a base for his own Neo-Zeon movement against the Earth Federation. Arcadia is a space colony subjugated by Rakan Dakaran's forces in UC 0080, and the Bush Concern colony is owned by Bush Concern. A vocational training school and industrial facilities are located there, as well as the training academy for the Crossbone Vanguard's private army. Side 2 is called Hate and is located at L4. This was one of the first sides attacked by Zhan during the one-week battle. One of its colonies was hijacked by Zhan forces and dropped onto Earth, known as Operation British. During the UC 050s, the Zanskar Empire was established in Side 2 under Maria Pure Armonia. Known colonies in Side 2 include Colony 8, Island Ifish. The colony thought to have been seized from Side 2 for use in Operation British. Colony 13, the colony that received a coded message that the Zhan forces were mobilized. However, the line was cut before the Federation could hear that the Zhan military were beginning their attack and thus starting the one-year war. 18th Block, this colony was attacked and destroyed by the Grips 2 colony laser and, Zeta Gundam. 21st Block, the Titans attacked this colony with G3 poison gas, killing everyone inside, also in Zeta. Amelia, home colony of the Zanskar Empire. This colony was the furthest Side 2 colony from the moon during that time, during victory. Helios, headquarters of Zheon, later called Metatron, eventually occupied by the manhunting attachment in UC 0203. Probably during Gaia Gear, which as most fans will know is technically semi-canon. I'm just going to name it here for clarification errors. Following this is Side 3, which everyone knows. Side 3 is located behind the moon at L2 and is known as Moonzo. Side 3 was the only side to never use the open-type colonies. Instead, they used closed-type colonies, which removed the glass sky panels and was a complete solid cylinder with no open view to space. This allowed each colony to house greater capacities of people. Crap, I'm going to have to read quite a bit. In UC 0052, Zhan Daikun moved to Side 3 and began to spread his philosophy of Kantalism, spread that the Earth, essentially that the Earth was sacred and that human beings had a solemn right to protect it. This philosophy also encouraged the people of the space colonies to consider themselves independent from the Earth. In UC 0058, under the guidance of Zhan Daikun, Side 3 declared independence from the Earth Federation and formed the Republic of Zhan. In UC 0068, Daikun died under mysterious circumstances, possibly poisoning as shown in Origin. And Degwin Zabi took control of the Republic of Zhan. Under Degwin's leadership, the Republic of Zhan became a dictatorship, and the National Guard Regiment Side 3 maintained became a full-fledged army. On August 15th, UC 0069, Degwin announced the formation of the Principality of Zhan, setting himself up as the ruler and giving his 4 children unilateral control of the military forces. Simultaneously with this announcement came severe purges of the remaining followers of Zhan Daikun living inside 3. Between UC 0069 and 0078, the Principality of Zhan began mass production of various warships and mobile suits in anticipation of an armed conflict with the Federation. After the 1-year war, Side 3 came under the control of Prime Minister Darcia Bakarva, who sued for peace. Barkova and the Federation reached an agreement wherein the Principality of Zhan would surrender and Side 3 would be allowed to maintain its independence under its previous role, the Republic of Zhan. The deal also allowed the Republic to maintain an armed force, which would be subject to periodic inspections by the Federation. Although this agreement formally ended the war, many Principality supporters rejected this offer and chose instead to go into hiding. Side 3 received additional space colonies in 0082 and again in 0083 as part of the Colony Reclamation Project, which sought to ease the overcrowding of Side 3. Side 3 remained the Republic of Zhan until they rejoined the Federation in UC single 100. In the UC 0120s, Side 3 contained a desolate region labeled the Zebra Zone, in which a non-militant Neo-Zeon remnant remained. So even 30-40 years after Shar's counterattack, the ghost of Zhan continues to haunt Side 3, the specter of Side 3. Some known colonies in Side 3 include Zum City, the capital of Side 3 and said to be named in honor of Zhan Daikun. Maul, Colony 38. This colony's population was evacuated and the cylinder was physically altered into the solar ray cannon. In addition, Maul was the home colony of the majority of the Shima fleet. Shima Garahal's defection at the end of Operation Stardust was in part due to the loss of her home. Colony 9, a memorial service was held here during the 1-year war. Quintism, an anti-Zabi revolt, occurred in this colony shortly before the outbreak of the 1-year war, but was brutally put down. Sad. Tiger Bomb, also known as Colony 24, was a neutral colony modeled after 20th century Hong Kong. And Core 3, a colony given to Haman Karn by the Earth Federation during the First Neo-Zeon War to serve as their base of operations. It is the site of the final battle of the Civil War between Haman and Glemmy Toto's faction, during which the colony was destroyed when the asteroids Axis and Mosa collided with it. Side 4, also known as Moore, and is located at L5. Side 5 was one of the first colonies attacked by the Zeon forces during the One-Year War. As a result of these attacks, a shoal zone developed called the Thunderbolt Sector, due to the frequent electrical discharges which occurred during the reorganization of During the reorg of the sides in UC 0084, Side 4 was moved to L1. Side 4 was eventually reconstructed into the frontier side during the UC 120s. Known colonies in Side 4 include Frontiers 1 through 4. The Frontier 1 was the first colony of the frontier side. It became the refugee place for Federation test ship Space Ark during UC 0123 when the Crossbow Vanguard invaded the frontier side. Later, the Crossbow Vanguard test fielded their new bug weapons and killed many civilians. Frontier 2, the Crossbow Vanguard attacked a Federation fleet near this colony. In Frontier 4, the first colony to be attacked by the Crossbow Vanguard is then taken over and renamed Cosmos Babylonia as the capital of the Rona family's new aristocratic nation. New Manhattan technically is part of G-Savior, headquarters of the Illuminati Resistance Group. Technically another side story like Gaia Gear. I'm going to make that no. Okay? Moving on from Side 3, or 4, we go to Side 5, which is known as Loom, and is located at L1. During the One-Year War, this side became a battlefield when the Zeon attempted to capture a colony from Side 5 to drop onto the Earth. When the Federation forces arrived and intervened, a massive battle for Side 5 erupted between General Revel's 1st Combined Fleet and Dozozavi's Space Attack Force, known as the Battle of Loom. At the end of the One-Year War, this area became known as the Shoal Zone, littered with debris of colonies and warships. During the reorg of the sides in 0083, 0084, Side 5 was moved to L4. Known colonies in L5 include Wohat. This colony was selected by Zeon as the target for their second colony drop. It was completely destroyed during the Battle of Loom. Texas colony. This was the only remaining colony in Side 5 after the Battle of Loom. The colony was originally designed for agricultural and tourism purposes. It was based, I think they said in origin, after the American Old West. But the war left the colony's reflector mirrors malfunctional, and the colony was abandoned. It was owned by Shu Yajima before the outbreak of the war. A battle between the anti-Earth Federation militant group Colorde and the Earth Federation forces Arharis Force takes place here in UC 0090. UC 90. Industrial 7, where Unicorn occurs, is also at Side 5. This is a closed type, managed by Anaheim Electronics. Approximately 2 million people live here, half of them being AE staff and their families. The harbor and factory block are located on the Earth side, with the colony builder unit Rokuro facing the moon side. Side 6 is known as Raya, and is located at L4. Hold on. Okay. Is located at L4. Side 6 declared autonomy from the Earth Federation in April UCO 0077 and adopted the name Raya Republic. Side 6 maintained diplomatic ties with the Federation and declared neutrality in the opening weeks of the One-Year War, allowing it to avoid most major conflicts. It was targeted by the Zeon for a nuclear attack late in the war, after a Federation R&D base was discovered here, but was rescued by Federation fleets. Side 6 was reincorporated into Side 6 after the One-Year War. During the reorg, during UC 0084, Side 6 was moved to L5. Known colonies in Side 6 include Labat, Everyone knows Labat from War in the Pocket. It contained a Federation R&D base. It was attacked in late December, UC 0079, by the Xeon Elite Cyclops team, and was later targeted for nuclear attack in December 26. Fortunately, this colony was saved when Federation forces successfully intercepted the Xeon fleets. Followed by that is Balder Bay. This colony, where the Pegasus assault carrier White Base docked after leaving Earth. After leaving Balder Bay, the White Base engaged and destroyed the entire Conscon fleet. The battle was televised by the colony's news network to the entire Earth sphere and shaped the political atmosphere further in the favor of the Federation. Mythos, a colony that housed an academic city. In UC 0097, EFFS Lieutenant Juno and his narrative Gundam, and the Republic of Xeon Captain Zoltan Akinin and his Sinanju Stein 02 engaged in combat in this colony during the search for the Unicorn Gundam Unit 3 Phoenix. And the Sinanju Stein fired its high-energy beam rifle on the skirmish, hitting the colony's mirror and creating an explosion. So, as I read facts, there's a lot of spoilers in this video. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, we're moving on in Colony. Side 7 is known as Noah and is located at L3. At the time of its introduction, the original Universe Mobile Suit Gundam, Side 7 consisted of a single, incomplete space colony that housed a Federation R&D base involved in the V project. This side became famous on September 18th, UC 0079, with the White Base and its prototype Mobile Suit RX-78-2 Gundam, successfully fended off an attack by Xeon Mobile Suits, and in doing so, marked the first recorded battle between Mobile Suits technically in the original Gundam. Known Gundams and known colonies in the Side 7 include Green Noah 1, Side 1's first space colony. It was the home to the Earth Federation secret mobile suit development facility. Principality Xeon forces attacked this colony in September 18th, UC 0079, resulting in heavy damage to the colony. The colony was originally synonymous with Side 7 as it was the only complete space colony at the side during the One-Year Wars, later renamed Green Noah 1 after a second colony was built. Green Noah 2 was later added to the Side 7 cluster in UC 0085, became the space headquarters to the Titans, and was the most advanced military base in the Earth sphere at the time. Green Noah 2 was renamed Grips in 0087, and its two segments was named Grips 1 and Grips 2. Grips 2 was later built into a colony later and became the scene of a three-way battle when the Titans, the AUG, and the Axis Xeon all attempted to seize control of it. And now, we go into the more obscure regions that are known to be colonies. Side 8 is located at L1. It is a late addition to the Universal Century timeline. Its first on-screen appearance isn't until UC 0223 during, G-Savior, which is technically semi-canon, again. Before being formally recognized as Side 8, they were simply known as Gaia. Known colonies in Side 8 is Gaia. The only known colony in Side 8, Gaia houses a massive agricultural lab. This colony was damaged during a military raid by forces of the Congress of Settlement Nations consent. In addition to this, we have colonies such as Moon, a Lost Island 1 type colony, home to a primitive group of space dwellers seen in Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, and possibly Mobile Suit Moon Gundam as well to be. Who knows? Laplace, which was a standard tourist-type colony, used as the official residence of the Prime Minister, which was destroyed by Benazir Link's great-great-grandfather and his cohorts, Siam, Vist, in UC 0001 at the start of Unicorn Gundam. And Hilland, a 15 by 200 kilometer solar battery satellite whose power shipped to Asia. Two families who reside there joined the League military during the war with the Zanskar Empire. Anyways, I should have mentioned earlier while I was reading off all this stuff that some of this would contain spoilers for future videos down the line. I apologize. Let's consider this a Halloween treat instead of a trick. Anyways, I hope you guys like this rather long-winded video. In fact, looking at the time, I've done almost 31 minutes of this. So, you guys are probably tired of me. Anyways, please like, comment if I did a good job. Anything else you want me to do? Anyways, ideas for new videos. Send me in line, guys. And please, keep suggesting stuff. Anyways, this is Axis 0096 saying I hope you liked the video and see you beyond the time.